Hi everyone, this video is going to be about sexual energy and how to utilize it for personal and spiritual growth. I have a video about the law of attraction and manifestation if you would like to check that out. There will be an annotation and a link in the description. Sex is something many of us have a desire for, as we are all sexual beings. We may participate in various sexual practices, including self-stimulation, masturbation. We may do it for a variety of reasons. We often have an urge to do it, a sex drive, and it just feels good to us. There is nothing wrong with that, nor is masturbation. However, what some may not consider is just how much more involved sex is, especially with a partner, than merely a physical connection. We may just enjoy the physical activity, especially with a loving partner we have an emotional and spiritual connection with, and sex can enhance this connection tremendously. But we can also utilize sexual energy in so many other ways that we may not even be aware of. In today's society, sex is often seen as physical. People may take pride in how many people they have slept with, and even when they have lost their virginity. I personally remember from high school people saying to me that you were supposed to lose your virginity in high school. Instead, take pride in your virginity. Sex without a connection is only a breeding ground for negative energy. You pick up these energies from your sexual partners that harbor them, as well as your own negative views during sex with the other person you may not know. The reason is because sex is much more than just physical. When you are only in for it for the physical satisfaction, and perhaps have been with many partners without a connection that is beyond the physical, then you will attract the negative energy your partners are harboring. If that is the case, there certainly are ways of clearing this negative energy. But it first starts with you expanding your perspective and realizing that sex is more than just physical. Orgasm is often seen as the end of the sexual experience. The aim for many is to have an orgasm and that's it. After orgasm, we are done. What's now? There is much more involved. Usually sex and masturbation is often seen as a depletion of energy. Many spiritual practices say to refrain from any sexual activity, including masturbation, because it makes one lose focus on spiritual growth. The problem with this comes down to several factors. Many fail to refrain from it for a variety of reasons. One being that we all have various urges in this physical form. We desire sex and it's natural to us. Another reason being that many people try too hard to refrain from it, and it then may be filled with shame when partaking in the behavior. This may get to the point of one overthinking it, which turns into obsessive thoughts about it, which are even more difficult to manage. Males especially have a difficult time because of hormones, as well as their bodies continuously producing sperm. Why this is difficult is because male ejaculation specifically is what is often seen as a loss of energy. But the truth is that since males continuously produce sperm, if they were not to masturbate for a prolonged period of time, including ejaculation, then that buildup has to be released, which often happens during the sleep cycle. These are just some reasons why sex and masturbation is often viewed as a waste of spiritual energy that doesn't allow one to advance spiritually. However, while this perspective is true, sexual energy can be utilized in an entirely different way to actually cause the opposite effect, spiritual growth. Sexual energy is an incredibly powerful energy that all of us can utilize in various forms. Instead of just depleting it because of physical desires, why not utilize it to better ourselves and enrich our lives? This is possible when utilized correctly. Tantric sex specifically is one way of utilizing sexual energy as spiritual energy. And speaking from my own perspective, This is something that has fascinated me for many years. While I personally do not have any sexual experience with another person, this practice certainly is something I would like to try with a partner, as it intrigues me. Males and females respond differently to sexual energy. As was mentioned earlier, for men, ejaculation is often seen as the release of sexual energy. Women do not have the same kind of ejaculation as men, and therefore their response is to draw energy in. In other words, males expend energy while females draw energy in. Both a male and female can utilize either depending on the circumstances. You can utilize releasing sexual energy for manifesting things into your life, as well as to expel negative energy along with it. Whereas retaining and drawing in sexual energy is often used for internal healing. The former will often make one feel depleted, whereas the latter will make one feel complete. However, for males specifically, while ejaculation is seen as the release of sexual energy, it is possible for a male to experience drawing in sexual energy. This is a physical feat that must be learned by the male. For you see, ejaculation and orgasm are two separate things for a male, but they often happen simultaneously. It is possible to orgasm without ejaculation. However, this can be a rather tricky task for a male, as it takes practice to physically recognize the signs and learn the timing to achieve orgasm without ejaculation. As a bit of personal background in this area, since I am a transgender woman that was born a male, transitioned to female, and had sex reassignment surgery, I can tell you firsthand from my experience that there is a big difference between male and female sexual energy and how it is utilized. As a male, the release of sexual energy felt very intense and depleting. It was difficult to concentrate and even do things afterwards because I would feel lethargic. However, this was the ejaculation orgasm. I was able to achieve orgasm without ejaculation on several occasions, despite it being difficult, and the feeling was completely different. I felt rejuvenated and more connected to myself. This is exactly what I experience now as a woman with a vagina. I do not experience that depleting of energy, but rather I feel invigorated and with intense concentration. I feel much more relaxed, spiritually connected, and a happy feeling that lasts for hours. I find it much easier to utilize this sexual energy. If you get aroused and want to go right to sex, then that indicates a lack of control over sexual energy, which is something that can be worked on. So, I will now discuss ways of controlling and utilizing this sexual energy. You can utilize these techniques either with a partner or by yourself. It doesn't matter. Sexual energy is sexual energy. While a partner can certainly greatly enhance the experience, as well as you being able to share your partner's energy and vice versa, it's possible to change your own life solo, which is the place to start when learning to understand and utilize your own sexual energy. The number one thing to utilizing sexual energy is to eliminate shame regarding sex, masturbation, and the things you do not like about yourself. I have a video dedicated to eliminating shame about sex that goes into much greater detail, so I recommend viewing that one first. There will be an annotation and a link in the description. The reason why this is crucial is due to how intense sexual energy is. Whatever you think about building sexual energy as well as orgasm and after orgasm is what you will manifest. So if you have shame, you will continue to bring about that exact shame in your life. Let's say you are overweight and hate your body. You are having sex with your partner and getting distracted just thinking about how much you want to lose the weight. This particular example is a woman. Women tend to have a much more difficult time than men do concentrating on sex and even masturbation. How many times does your mind wander, thinking about things you have to do the following day, or even worse, what you don't like about yourself or your partner? This is one of the biggest reasons why sexual frustration exists within women, and why it can be very difficult for some women to orgasm. However, going back to the example of the overweight woman having sex and thinking about how much she hates her body, she is embarrassed and filled with shame that her body is exposed, and it feels like an ordeal for her. As the sexual energy is building between her and her partner, she constantly thinks about how bad her body is. Due to how intense sexual energy is, this will only attract more negativity to her regarding her body image. In other words, over time, she will view her body more and more negatively. This leads me to the next point. Have something positive in mind before building sexual energy. A much better way for this overweight woman would be to, before even having sex, to reason with her negativity regarding her body image. Before having sex, her goal is that she wants to be happy with her body image. She may be overweight and not want to be overweight, but she must first accept it before going about losing the weight. This is her goal. So when engaging in sex with her partner, she focuses on the things that would normally turn her on and arouse her. When her mind shifts to something negative, she would bring it back to the things she likes. As the sexual energy is building, and especially if she is approaching orgasm, she would then shift her focus to what she wants in her life. In this case, she would focus on loving herself and accepting herself. She would envision and actually feel what it is like to be and have what she desires, as if it was already a reality. Perhaps she can even see positive affirmations written out in her mind and see how happy she is with her body image. Keeping this positive intention during orgasm and during the resolution phase will greatly accelerate her process of being able to accept her body as it is. You form an association of the things you wish to achieve to the pleasurable sensations of sex and orgasm. This accelerates your ability to achieve what you desire. Perhaps relax a bit before sex and prepare yourself. Let go of any negativity and attachments. Perhaps meditate and clear the negative energy so you can be open to receiving positivity and positive energy that you can use in a positive manner that is constructive for your growth. This leads me to the next point. Observe the experience. When having sex or masturbating, bring your attention to the actual experience. Explore and understand what you like and don't like, and allow it to happen. What do you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually feel when doing certain activities? Just observe the experience and let it happen. This is also a great tip to enhance orgasm, since your focus is on the experience and not distracted thinking about other things. Distractions can and will happen, but you can gently bring your attention back to the experience. With orgasm, that should not be the intent of your experience, but to rather just observe whatever happens. Let that intention go, and you will have a much more enjoyable time. The longer you go, which is often slowly, the more energy you will build, which can result in even greater intensity of orgasm and ability to utilize the sexual energy. You don't have to orgasm, just observe the experience, and that should be the goal. Naturally, this will be more difficult for males, since during arousal, their body prepares for ejaculation. But just observe the experience, and you can make the most of it by learning to utilize the energy. You can even utilize sexual energy enhancement techniques. One is to observe, and then when you feel you are close to orgasm, gently stop any stimulation and focus on what you are feeling. Let that feeling dissipate slightly and then go for it again and build it up again. You can continuously repeat this to build even more energy. Each time, you can even focus on your intention and imagine that energy circulating through your body and you achieving your desires. You can even close your eyes or use a blindfold to aid in enhanced focus on what you are experiencing. Additionally, crystals can greatly help enhance sexual energy. Usually red and orange crystals can help build sexual energy in the root and sacral chakra. You can place these on your body and just feel the energies coming off of them without even any physical stimulation. This brings me to the most interesting sexual energy enhancement technique of all, that you don't even have to actually have sex or masturbate at all. Perhaps with a partner, kissing, hugging, whatever else allows you to become aroused and build up that sexual energy. You don't have to go right to sex. Just observe the experience and buildup of energy between you and your partner and how you two are sharing one another's energies. You can utilize this for a stronger connection between you two by focusing on the connection you two share and even for mutual personal growth. Additionally, you don't even need any physical touch. Perhaps you can build up the sexual energy by focusing your mind on what arouses you, or build up the energy by visualizing it, building in your body. It's very possible to accomplish all this without a single physical touch. I would like to discuss a personal example of mine. Let's say concentration. That was something I wanted to work on. That was my goal, my intent. With sexual energy, I can concentrate in multiple ways. I can put it into practice during masturbation by focusing on the experience and bringing my attention back to the experience when it begins to drift. I can make this all mental too, without any physical touch. I can use my hands and visualize the energy flow and manipulate it. When I do this, I can feel the energy moving through my body. This is intriguing since if I am building sexual energy, I can then manipulate it to other areas of my body. This can be handy if there is a part of your body that you need healing. For example, I have used crystals which I feel help the energy flow and allow me to better concentrate. Again, my intent with the sexual energy was to concentrate. That was the goal for myself that I wanted to achieve. As I continue to build the sexual energy, mostly being from physical touching, but as I said, can be greatly enhanced by non-physical touch as well, I perform some of the other techniques mentioned earlier. I will reach the point of orgasm, stop any stimulation, and will visualize the energy and can move it through my chakras for healing, all while concentrating on this energy and giving myself positive suggestions for concentration. I can even give myself positive suggestions, like I can concentrate with ease. It is easy for me to concentrate. I am focused. During that moment, when I stop before orgasm and can move this energy, I achieve the feeling of orgasm, but I have yet to have one. It's a bit difficult to explain since I am physically not having an orgasm, but the feeling is the same in other ways, in that I am connected to myself. I then repeat this multiple times and for how long I desire. This continues to build this energy that I can utilize. And when I actually do achieve an orgasm, I then focus even more so on my goal that I initially set for myself. The moment I feel this, there is an immediate connection to myself and everything becomes real. This goal that I continue to focus on becomes a reality and slips deep into my mind where it becomes true. I keep a hold of this even after the orgasm, but that's not where it ends. Remember, while orgasm can be the end of the sexual response for your physical body, there is no defined start and end for other aspects of yourself. Because what happens to me afterwards is that I am able to slip into a lucid state. which I can then further enforce my affirmations and goal. It's like a dream, but I am not actually sleeping, and am lucid, and the visuals are very detailed. I can even see myself doing my goal. In this case, it was concentration. I see myself concentrating. You can utilize this in so many ways, and this is just one example I've done. However, it still doesn't end there. After I come back to myself and awaken from this state, I feel this wonderful sensation physically, mentally, spiritually, everything, for some time afterwards. Sometimes it may be only last for 20 minutes, afterwards up to an hour or more. This is something I utilize anytime when masturbating. To me, it's not solely about physical satisfaction, but satisfaction on a whole new, multifaceted level. It's the feeling of much more than just physical pleasure, but emotional and spiritual as well. Since doing this, I certainly have had a much higher sex drive. And when I do feel like being sexual with myself, it's not about just a physical release, since I've been able to take it to a whole new level. It's brought about a whole new level of experience and knowing myself and love for myself. I feel more connected to myself and can utilize something that I really enjoy to better myself, heal myself, and bring the things I want to achieve into my life. There is no shame in that, since I do not have that shame anymore. And you can accomplish this too, just by eliminating that shame, being open to new experiences, and having confidence in yourself so you can follow these steps at achieving what you desire using your own sexual energy. While many may view sexual activity as a depletion of energy that is not good for spiritual growth, you can actually utilize the energy to enhance your life and your spiritual growth. The main thing you have to do is eliminate shame regarding sex, your self-image, and have a positive intention when building sexual energy. By observing the experience and focusing on it, as well as what you want to achieve, especially at the moment of orgasm, which shouldn't necessarily be the goal of the experience, you can manifest the things you desire into your life because of how powerful sexual energy is. With a partner, you can take it to a whole new level and develop an even stronger connection with them that can greatly benefit the relationship. If you would like to share any of your own personal stories, I would love to hear them, so please don't be hesitant to share. I hope this video was informative and helpful. Thanks for watching.